If you're an African-American man, look, let me boil this election down in the African-American community to a very simple I'll reference the great Malcolm X. This race is between House African-Americans and field African-Americans.
What did he say?
This race is between House African-Americans and field African-Americans.
Okay, yeah, my ears are clean. He definitely said that. I wonder how he's going to try to dig his ass out of this 6-foot hole.
And the field African-Americans are going for Donald Trump. I'm talking about your men. I'm talking about your men who build, your men who put things together, your men who work with their hands, your men who do things.
Sir, I do not think that's the flex you think it is.
Just trying to understand the one that's spitting talking points right now. Are you the House Negro or the field Negro that you're referring to? Again, do you understand? You sound
No, I do understand, sir.
And
I do understand.
Silly.
So that absolute nut job right there is pro-Trump radio host Shelley Winter.
It's not the men who push paper or the men who are connected to power and want to continue to be connected to power.
Are you denigrating African American men who are professionals who work in white collar jobs? Is that what I'm hearing from you, or?
No.
Seen here invoking Malcolm X's famous speech to denigrate black people who are voting for Kamala Harris.
There was two kinds of slaves. There was the house Negro and the field Negro. The house Negro, they lived in the house with master. They dressed pretty good. They ate good because they ate his food, what he left. If the master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would fight harder to put the blaze out than the master would.
A man who obviously would have been a huge supporter of this guy.
She was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear.
And his comment sent this CNN interview into an absolute spiral. Just wait till you see how chaotic it got, and thankfully the pushback he got from Sarah Sidner and Michael Blake, which is cathartic but also wild considering the interview started like this.
I want to move on to what Donald Trump has said about an issue near and dear to both of your hearts, the issue of black Americans and Latino voters. Kamala Harris has been doing interviews on black media. Trump, though, is overperforming in polling with both groups compared to past Republicans. Here is what he said when he was campaigning in Pennsylvania.
Any African American or Hispanic, and you know how well I'm doing there, that votes for Kamala, you got to have your head examined because they are really screwing you. They are really screwing you.
Now, as you can see, I am certifiably not black, but even I feel fucking weird about Donald Trump telling entire races that they need their head examined for voting for Kamala Harris. And not only because the only person who needs his head examined is Donald Trump himself.
Not only is Comrade Howard, I mean, if you take a look at this, but not only is Comrade Kamala allowing...
It is Kamala, for the record, but he is denigrating voters for making a choice that he does not like. Shelley, to you, what does he achieve with this?
Well, how is it? Wait, first of all, how is he denigrating voters?
He's saying that they are being, for lack of a better word, screwed.
Taken advantage of. They're being taken advantage of. They're paying higher pricing. They're working class, the ones that he's talking about, working class, lower middle class. They're paying more for food, they're paying more for gas, and they're being taken advantage of.
But
and
Shelley,
over the course of 30 years, they voted.
He also said that they had to have their head examined. That is not something that is a compliment.
Obama just told me the same thing. Obama just told me the same thing. I've got black women telling me I'm not really he inferred them, he implied them, he certainly did. He even threatened us with your lucky Michelle's not here. I mean, come on, let's not make things up. Let's be honest here, and let's really be clear what's being said. If you're an African-American man, look, let me boil this election down in the African-American community to a very simple, I'll reference the great Malcolm X. This race is between House African-Americans and field African-Americans. And the field African-Americans are going for Donald Trump. I'm talking about...
I'm just trying to understand, is Shelley the House one or the field woman? I'm just trying to understand that part. I'm just trying to understand the one that's spitting talking points right now. Are you the House Negro or the field Negro that you're referring to? So I just want to make sure. Your question was about denigrating black people. That literally was your question. You have a Republican fool who was talking right now about, you literally just said that black men, you actually just said this is an election about House or field. This is the nonsense that we are listening to right now by those that are supporting Donald Trump.
Not what I said, sir.
That is actually what you just there's only clearly you must be in your own talk. I'm not sure what kind of radio show you have that you can't listen to your own thing. So you actually just said
for Trump.
Again, do you understand? You sound absurd and silly. And so let's actually talk about the substance of your question. The substance of the question was around denigrating.
What I said is very
the substance of the
Yeah, again, bud, the substance was very clear, but not in a good way, dude.
Question was denigrating Black and Latino communities.
Sir, the substance of what I said is very clear.
My name is Michael. And we thank you that. So the point here, the question that was raised around denigrating Black and Latino communities. And
all right, my brother, let me answer the question.
The concerning
Are you going to let me answer the question?
The concerning part.
Are you going to let me answer the question?
Shelley, you made the point saying that you made a point saying that you believe that
the point I'm making, ma'am, Sarah, the point I'm making is this: the men who get up every day and make things happen with their hands, they build things. They're plumbers, they're electricians, they're working for Amazon. These men who are coaching 7 and under football, not because their son or daughter plays, but because they want to keep brothers off the streets and they're volunteering their time. These men are going for Trump.
It honestly pains me so much to see people make this argument as if working class people, regardless of their race, are going to be better under Donald Trump's concepts of economic plans that have been shown over and over again, specifically more and more in recent days, to be utterly inflationary and only benefit the rich. Why does MAGA continuously root for their own demise?
These men, and I used an analogy made famous by the great Malcolm X. So if you're saying that I'm denigrating anybody, then you must assume that he was denigrating somebody. So don't even throw that word out there again, my brother.
So Michael,
the fact of the matter is that's what you're seeing in the Black community. So I'm not denigrating anybody.
We have heard the filibuster now. So the point yesterday,
I answered your question.
When Vice President Harris was in Detroit with Charlamagne the God, and we're talking about Detroit versus everybody. So the reference that was just made, he's essentially communicating that the people in Detroit and Milwaukee and Philly that are doing work, manufacturing jobs, putting in for their communities, are going to vote for Donald Trump, a man who has no policy, no support, who called for the death penalty on Black men and has repeatedly been against us. So let's be abundantly clear. You have a choice. You can follow the rhetoric of someone who is literally calling you a house or field Black man, or you can follow the Black woman who was a DA, an AG, a United States Senator, a Vice President, an HBCU alum, a sorority sister who is actually helping Black people. This is the decision you have in 20 days. To follow people like Shelley, who is saying this rhetoric. We've heard his filibuster.
How has she helped Black people?
We could listen to Shelley or to Clarence Thomas.
Mr. Winter, you had your point. I'm just trying to let both of you.
Yeah, well, we really appreciate that. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So, like, the reality is this. You have a scenario right now where you have on one side a Black woman who is saying, how do we help our communities? To your earlier question, Sarah, around how can you do both? On one side, you have Vice President Harris, who is articulating how we can help domestically and abroad. Donald Trump sent COVID tests to help Putin. So while your Black families, house or field, referring to what Shelley is talking, we're dying.
That's misinformation.
We're dying because of Donald Trump's policies.
That's misinformation.
You know, it's
That's
amazing.
Misinformation.
We will focus here.
We are going to leave this here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael Blake, Shelley Winter, thank you both for joining us.
Why don't you correct the misinformation?
Have a good day
for joining us.
For your radio show.
Another perfect example of a completely substantive discussion from the right. I will never understand how people see the logic of MAGA and the rambling and non-answers and labeling everything they disagree with a lie or misinformation or fake news regardless of the facts. And those people continuously internalize it themselves and then look at other people saying it and go, yeah, that makes sense. That's logical to me. Those are the people that need their heads examined. Thank you for watching, folks. Thank you to Michael Blake for pushing back on that absolute nonsense. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video to support the Really American channel, and for yourself, your dignity, your rights, and the rights of others who clearly do not seem to understand that they're voting against their own self-interest by supporting Donald Trump, vote blue and help us save democracy. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you all in the next one.